A lot of the people who struggle with addiction do not want to live the way they're living, but they have become incapable of living any other way because life becomes a series of reactions and automatic decisions. There's a physical dependence for most on the substance that they're using, and depending on the substance, there's a great deal of difficulty in actually physically stopping. Physically stopping is not so much the important thing. Not starting is where it becomes difficult. So taking folks that have been living in a very automatic response to life, both with emotions, with decisions, with verbal, and having them stop and reflect back with a counselor some of these things and basically slow life down for a minute to where they can begin to see some of their behaviors might not match their desires and correct some of those behaviors, to begin to look at some of their thinking, and mostly to look at it under the understanding that your addiction is an illness that has a physical and mental component, that the actual obsession to drink or use drugs is the reason people start back. And so we really try to address people holistically. From a physical standpoint, we want them to get off the drugs safely, we want them to take any necessary medications appropriately, and we want them to live a healthy lifestyle. From a mental perspective, we want them to understand some of the twisted thinking that goes into relapse and the thinking that goes into impaired relationships and all the decisions that can lead to a point where it makes sense to use drugs again. And then from a spiritual component, we just hope to launch them into developing their own spiritual life, whether that's involved in this church or that church or no church or the self-help community. That's an important part of being a healthy human being, so that's another thing that we nurture.